forward to this day for the last couple of months. Drove to the ballpark today, stomach doing somersaults, a lot of butterflies. It's almost like this is the first day of the season, like we haven't even played those 6 games on the road. But this is a great place. So many people said today would never happen. Well, here it is. It has happened. Today is a new beginning for the Bucks.
The Buccos and the Reds opening day at PNC Park. And we will have the first pitch for you in just a moment as we celebrate this great day in Pittsburgh. John Wehner, the Carrick native, Adrian Brown looking over this ballpark, and yesterday's hero, Aramis Ramirez.
Pirates Baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Giant Eagle. It takes a giant to make life simple. By Pennzoil, protection under the toughest driving conditions. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, tap the Rockies. By Duquesne Light, your source for unbiased electric choice information. And by Ladbroke, the perfect place for men's night out.
Here we are, PNC Park in Pittsburgh for the official opening day against the Cincinnati Reds. We're going to check all the sights and sounds of PNC Park throughout the day, and let's go right now to Rob Nicoleski, who is really on the Clemente Bridge. Rob.
Greg, it's a standing room only crowd inside the stadium and outside the stadium. One of the great things about PNC Park is you can walk to the ballpark from downtown right across the Clemente Bridge. Lots of people here. You can't see a whole lot of the game, but everyone's here because they want to be part of the spectacle. And Greg, I promise, if the Pirates lose, I will not jump.
I was going to say, be careful, Rob. Thank you. Let's take a look now at the lineups. And first up for Bob Boone, Cincinnati Reds. Barry Larkin leads off. Then it's Michael Tucker, the center fielder, filling in for the injured Ken Griffey Jr. Dimitri Young is in left. Upper St. Clair's Sean Casey is the cleanup hitter. Alex Ochoa, and then Aaron Boone, the manager's son. Juan Castro at second. Kelly Stinnett, the catcher. Chris Rietsma is the pitcher. And for the Pirates, Todd Ritchie gets the call.
Here's the Dodge scouting report. Low 90s fastball. It has a lot of movement on it at times. He can get a lot of ground balls, loves to work fast. You'll see the Reds try and step out on him, make him slow down a little bit. And he is really a cool, calm customer out there. He pitched the opener the other night. He really feels no pressure. He truly takes this just like another game.
Perfect guy to have out there, isn't he? Let's go around the horn defensively for Pittsburgh. Kevin Young, that tribute to Willie Stargell, number 8 on his cap, as is the case with Pat Mears, the second baseman. Over at third, it's Aramis Ramirez. The shortstop, the rookie, Jack Wilson. In the outfield for the Pirates, left to right, Brian Giles in left. Adrian Brown, he's got a lot of ground to cover out there in center. And Derek Bell, the new Pittsburgh Pirate, behind the plate, the veteran, catcher Jason Kendall. And again, Todd Ritchie on the hill for Pittsburgh. The Pirates dropped 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati to open this 2001 schedule, but boy, did they rebound with 2 big wins over the Houston Astros. The Pirates record 3-3. The Reds are 2-5. They were swept at Miller Park in Milwaukee over the weekend as the Brewers opened their new ballpark.
Well, the Pirates did not play well in Cincinnati. They did not swing the bats well at all. Even the game they won kind of given to them a little bit there at the end. They needed some help, but they came alive in Houston, and I'm hoping for big things today.
Mark it down officially, 138, the first pitch ever at PNC Park. And
Aramis Ramirez with a 3-home run day yesterday down on field.
Big day for Aramis Ramirez. 3 jacks. Ball 2 to Larkin. Imagine some butterflies. No matter how cool a customer you are, you can't help but get caught up in this historic day in Pittsburgh. The 2-0 pitch. And hit to left field and deep, and Barry Larkin hits a foul ball, just foul. The 3rd pitch in the history of PNC Park, nearly out of here. Veteran Pirate fans know that the first home run ever hit at Three River Stadium was by a Cincinnati Red. It was Tony Perez.
You see the ball pass just a little bit in front of the pole. It had the good hook going. It's all right. You know, that's a place that is going to be very easy to hit the home runs here, right down that line. But it gets deep in a hurry. You mentioned Adrian Brown has a lot of room to cover. Brian Giles has an acre behind him out there.
It's 320 to straightaway, but it does get out there in a hurry. Low and in, 3-1. Take a look at this gorgeous park.
See how much room there is out there in the back, especially the corner out there, 410 feet away. Brian Giles and Adrian Brown both are going to have a tough time getting the balls that are driven in that direction.
Strike 3-2. Todd Ritchie in his start against the Cincinnati Reds. 6 innings, walked 4, uncharacteristically for this control pitcher. Allowed 4 hits. Michael Tucker on deck. He gets him. That's a comeback.
Yeah, came back from almost a leadoff home run to striking him out. That game in Cincinnati, Greg, that Todd pitched, for him, I thought that was very uncharacteristic. Normally, if he's going to be good, you see it right from the first hitter, 2 hitters of the game. But he was struggling with his control early on, and then he got it together. He just throws this fastball by him upstairs. You see a little tailing movement on it.
Michael Tucker bounces it on a couple of hops to Mears. 2 out.
And Michael Tucker's a guy we're going to have to be careful with today, right, Greg?
You ain't kidding. He's been a pirate killer, so grippy or not, you got to watch Michael Tucker. Good to get him out of the way.
And there's another reason that you got to be careful with Michael
Tucker.
That's
right.
what I was trying to lead you.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
It's been a while, Bob.
Need a horse to water, sometimes you won't drink.
Yeah, Michael Tucker christened Miller Park and also christened Turner Field.
Yeah,
but it opened up a couple years ago with home runs. First home runs.
2 first-ever home runs already, so be careful with him.
Ball to Dimitri Young, the switch-hitting left fielder. He was 5 for 13 with a home run in that 3-game series in Cincinnati. And he gets whacked. And you know what?
Well, this is going to be a story today a little bit. We'll have to watch this. Jack Wilson got put on his back a number of times in Cincinnati, and
Pirates
got to be a little bit of a problem.
Another look. They showed the Houston Astros they weren't going to back down, and that might be the message to the Reds. You knock down our guys, we won't be afraid to do that to you, and that's something that has been missing in the game plan for the Pittsburgh Pirates pitching staff over the last handful of years. But aggressive work on the mound is back. Here's Sean Casey. What a thrill it must be for him.
Growing up here, watching all the games at Three Rivers, and to be a part of this first one, he, John Wayner, Terry Mulholland, Terry right now on the DL, of course.
Sean Casey was 2 for 12 in that series in Cincinnati last week. Want to know the count with 2 outs, and that's crushed deep, and it's Sean Casey of all people that hits the first home run in the history of PNC Park. Pittsburgh's own Sean Casey drives the 1-0 pitch over the right field wall at PNC Park, and the Reds take a 2-0 lead.
Well, when we were here for the 2 exhibition games against the Mets, the weather conditions were much different than we have this afternoon, and I think what we saw against the Mets, it played more as a pitcher's ballpark. The ball didn't carry too much. The grass was very heavy, slow. Today, watching batting practice, the wind blowing out a little bit, ball was getting out of here much easier, and especially to right field. That's going to be the place that this ballpark's going to give up some home runs. Tried to come down and in, and Sean Casey just dropped the head of the bat to it. Saw pitch track first time this afternoon.
Broken bat to third. Aramis Ramirez across the diamond. Reds retired, but Sean Casey will go down in the history books. Lloyd McClendon's club will have to come back, trailing early on after a half inning by 2 runs, thanks to the Upper St. Clair native. What's happening in the Allegheny here at PNC Park. Take a look at Lloyd McClendon's lineup. Adrian Brown leads off in center, then it's Derek Bell in right. Jason Kendall does the catching. Brian Giles, the cleanup hitter for Pittsburgh. Aramis Ramirez hits 5th. Kevin Young, the first baseman. Pat Mears at 2nd. Then it's Jack Wilson and Todd Ritchie against the rookie Chris Rietsma.
Take a look at Rietsma's scouting report, brought to you by Toyota. His best pitch, and we saw a lot of them the other night, the changeup. He really did great work with it. Likes to work the fastball up. He'll give up some fly balls, so maybe a few of those flies will reach the seats.
Rietsma made his major league debut last Wednesday night against the Pirates. No decision, gave up a couple of runs in 6 innings on just 3 hits. One of the hits was a home run by Adrian Brown.
And Adrian Brown's home run was one of those changeups.
Strike called.
Not too many of them were being hit even at all. A lot of guys, especially left-handed hitters, were way out in front of it. Hard to stay back. A great arm action on it. A good location. They'll throw it on any count.
One Major League scout has said the only guy in Major League Baseball with a better changeup, believe it or not, is Pedro Martinez. Still awfully early for Chris Rietsma. This is just his 2nd Major League appearance.
It helps you change up immensely if you got a great fastball to go with it.
Strikeout victim looking is Adrian Brown. Let's go around the horn defensively for the Cincinnati Reds. Sean Casey has given the Reds the lead. He's the first baseman. At second, good glove man, and Juan Castro. Aaron Boone at third. Shortstop, the all-star Barry Larkin. Dimitri Young is in left. In center field, it's Michael Tucker. And in right field, it's Alex Ochoa. Derek Bell fouls this one off. Kelly Stinnett doing the catching this afternoon for Chris Rietsma.
And before we switch to the defense, I was talking about a great fastball. And that's one of the things that really sets Pedro Martinez's changeup above the rest. The changeup, if you have a fastball that makes those guys have to cheat and swing early, well, then the changeup is that much better just because of that. And Martinez can throw very hard as well.
The high strike call to the man wearing the baggy pants. New look unis for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The sleeveless jerseys.
You remember Mario Soto, these same Reds, Greg. Tremendous changeup, but he also threw very hard also.
Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Rietsma.
That was the breaking ball that time. Derek Bell thinks this ball is going to stay high. Watch how it finishes. High, and then drops right down. Last year, of course, that's not even close to being a strike. Last year, that pitch would have had to been down here to be called a strike.
Kendall grounds this one left side. Barry Larkin throws to first. Field hit.
That's the one area, Greg, where you can see that Barry Larkin has lost a little bit. He's still very good offensive player, good hands, still gets to a lot of balls, but I'm not sure his arm is like it used to be when it comes to going into the hole and firing one across the diamond on a line. It just takes a while to get there.
Kendall beats it out. Here's Brian Giles. 2 years at Three Rivers, Giles hit 40 home runs.
Really playing Brian Nicole, especially in the infield, but even in the outfield a little bit. Look at that left side. Larkin's just about straight up the middle. Look over here on the shortstop side. Basically, you have one player covering the whole left side of the infield.
A ball on a strike to Giles.
So look how much room there is, for the base hits. But they would love Brian just to try in this situation to just poke a single out in the left field. They really don't lose a whole lot in that scenario. There are 2 outs and a man on first base right now. Brian's thinking about driving the ball for extra bases, not trying to hit a ground ball through that left side for a single. He wants to score Kendall from first base with either extra base hit or heck, do what Casey did, put it over there in the seats.
Another strike is called from home plate umpire Bill Welke. Kendall's lead off first. The step off. Kendall with 1 steal and 2 attempts, early going of this season. There he goes. Hit to right field, and a fair ball up against the wall. Kendall going to be held at third, puts on the brakes. Runners at the corner.
Ochoa just did a great job there. I mean, that's an extra base hit, isn't it?
Can't believe it.
Yeah, you got a runner running from first base with speed. Ball hits up off the wall. He doesn't score, and Trent held him up.
Rightfully
should
so.
have, yeah, rightfully so. This ball is smoked off the fence. I'm thinking double. We got to run in. Look at Ochoa. He gets the ball right off the wall, first base, first bounce, fires it right in, hits the cutoff man. Kendall has no choice. Kendall is probably shocked to see the stop sign right there.
Line single to right, first and third, Aramis Ramirez. 3 homers yesterday. He is in some great company now with that 3-homer afternoon. Darnell Coles in 1987, the last Pirate to do it, with others. Bill Robinson, Roberto Clemente, of course, Willie Stargell. Stargell did it 4 times. Dick Stewart, Frank Thomas, Roman Mejias, and Ralph Kiner. Ground ball. Diving stop by Boone. To his feet, the throw to first, and he gets Ramirez. What a play by Aaron Boone, and the Pirates do not score. 2 outstanding defensive plays by the Reds to close out the bottom of the first. The stop and the long throw across. At PNC Park, the Reds lead at 2-0. Let's join Stan Savran with a special guest. The head of the Players Union is with Stan Savran. Donald Fear.
Absolutely. Donald, your first trip to PNC Park, what are your impressions?
Oh, it's a fabulous place. It is the first trip. I didn't really know quite what to expect, and you imagine all kinds of things looking at plans and artist renderings and so on, but it's really spectacular. The openness of it, the glint off the windows across the river, it's really something.
The commissioner is threatened to fine any owner for talking about labor negotiations or potential negotiations. He can't fine you, though, so where are we at?
Oh, you know, it's still early. We're still a good 7 months before the end of the agreement, and we're doing the kinds of things you would normally do to clear the decks for bargaining, exchanging information. But, you know, I must say, I keep saying this. I had all the way through spring training. I'm not sure everybody believes me, and I don't make predictions, but the atmosphere is just a lot better than it was 7 years ago, and that makes me more optimistic by a lot.
Lastly, Don, you mentioned to me a remembrance of the first time you ever met Willie Stargell.
It was in, I believe it was spring training 1978 or 1979, and I remember it was his birthday or some other event, and I met him as a result of Phil Garner and I think Bill Madlock, but I'm not sure, literally pushing a cake into his face and that big smile coming up out of the cake. Quite a memory. Obviously, it's a sad day, but I don't know anybody that doesn't think of Willie without a smile coming to his face.
Donald Fear, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Opening day, Donald Fear, Executive Director of the MLBPA. Back to Greg and Waukee.
Stan, thank you. That was well said by Donald Fear. You can't help but think of Willie Stargell, and a smile comes to your face.
A lot of days, a lot of memories on a day like today. And I heard the news this morning, and all the different things that instances hit fastball from Todd Rickey there over the outside corner. You know, things start coming back to you. The times you talk to him, the things you saw him do on the field.
It's incredible too that you and I and Steve Blass and John Wayner, after we got in last night, about 11 o'clock, we walked around the outside of PNC Park, and we walked up and saw the Stargell statue, and we talked about it.
Spent a lot of time out there last night by the statue.
You gave up your first home run in the big leagues to Captain Willie.
Willie was the 4th hitter I ever faced, and put it over the right field fence in Veterans Stadium.
Castro didn't hit it hard, but over the head of first baseman Kevin Young. Stargell statue outside PNC Park. Is that well done?
Very well done. This is such an impressive place.
Tribute to Willie Stargell today.
It's a live shot of all the flowers being gathered.
Kelly Sinnett at the plate. This is, as Kevin McClatchy said, the irony that one of the greatest days for the Pirate franchise, the opening of this ballpark, is also one of the saddest, losing a great player and a great friend like Willie. Kevin McClatchy said, we still believe that his presence will be felt at the ballpark today. If you're here, you can feel him. And we also have to feel awfully fortunate that he was able to be there for that touching ceremony, the last game ever at Three Rivers. And he was able to see the model of that statue unveiled that weekend.
Oh, what a beautiful view that is.
Bouncing ball, shortstop Wilson. The Mears one to left.
Well, those two have already got the way they work together. Perfect timing.
They are looking like a good team. Wilson and Mears. 1.5 at PNC Park. 2-0 Reds. We're back at PNC Park, and let's go back out to Rob Mikuleski.
Thanks a lot, Greg. Some changes here to PNC Park since the exhibition games against the Mets a little more than a week ago. If you notice out in here in dead center field where the evergreens and the bushes are, the dirt around the trees is a lot darker. The batters complained in the Mets series that it was too light. They had trouble picking up the ball. Now it's a darker dirt. They should be able to see the ball better and therefore hit the ball better. Back to you, Greg and Bob.
Thank you, Rob.
Uh-huh.
We'll check back with Rob throughout, but yeah, that was one of the things almost immediately hitting instructor Dave Clark noticed. Changed the color. That backdrop. This is fouled out of play by Kevin Young. George Holmes of Aliquippa is our Giant Eagle home run hitters contestant.
Well, that's what those two games were against the Mets. A little shakedown cruise for this place. Figure out if there was anything that needed to be tweaked. You had to figure that there were going to be some things.
And you had mentioned last time we were here that the cutouts around first and third might change. They were squared, but they've put them back to the more traditional look. Pirates aren't in agreement with home plate umpire Bill Welke. Tonight it's Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. 30 minutes of news completely dedicated to Pittsburgh's home team. PNC Park opening festivities. Willie Stargell remembered, and the Penguins prepare for the playoffs. It's tonight at 10. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight.
Yeah, the 4 outs gotten so far by Rietsma. 3 strikeouts called strike threes. So far, it's swing the bat day.
Pat Mears has been swinging the bat well early on, but the catch is made in right center by Alex Ochoa. 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. Going to bring up Jack Wilson. Don't forget, season ticket plan still available for this inaugural season of PNC Park. And still time to reserve a full season ticket plan. Premium seating in the Home Plate Club or Pittsburgh Baseball Club, or a partial plan that starts as low as $180. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS for tickets. Strike is called.
Yeah, that was a curveball that looked like it was right at Jack Wilson and broke right down the middle. Now Jack got buzzed by fastballs by Rietsma when he was in Cincinnati, and that obviously was in the back of Jack's mind. He thought he was getting another fastball up and in, and probably a little embarrassed that he went on his back on a curveball for a strike.
And another one, another strike.
You saw Stinnett there kind of flap, but he wasn't waving to somebody out in right field. He wanted that pitch from Rietsma. He wanted it way up and away. And of course, Rietsma did not get it there. That ball was too far down, but he wanted something up and away that he could throw by him, and that's why he put that glove up there like that.
Jeep League leaders early on this season among rookies. Wilson pops it up. Shortstop Larkin and Chris Rietsma. A 1-2-3 second inning from PNC Park in Pittsburgh. The Reds lead it early, 2-0.
Pirates Baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by the makers of the all-new Dodge Caravan. Dodge, different. And by Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
Greg Brown and Bob Walk back with you at PNC Park, the official opening day. Want to let you know, every time the Pirates reach home safely, Safe Auto Insurance Company will donate $5 to Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Play it safe and don't drink and drive. Keep that total updated throughout the year. Here's the pitcher, Chris Rietsma. Again, Bill Welke with a strike call. John Hirschbeck, the first base umpire. Chuck Merriweather at second. Brian O'Nora at third. A two-run homer for Sean Casey with 2 outs in the first inning.
This is definitely a day that you would like to have good control as far as putting the ball where you want, because Wilke has shown, ground ball Mears easily handles. Wilke has shown he will call strikes for you all over the edges of the strike zone. So it's up to you to try and put that ball there.
Up to you to watch Sports Beat weeknights at 6:30. Tune in right here on Fox Sports Net with Stan and Guy. Sports Beat right here.
But you love to have an umpire that's calling the edges of the zone for you, whether they're up, down, left, or right. It's a shame if it's one day where you can't do anything with it. And a lot of times you're throwing strikes, but you're just trying to throw strikes. You're not able to move the ball outside part of the strike zone, inside part of the strike zone, up or down.
Joe Beimel, Duquesne University's Joe Beimel made his major league debut yesterday, and was it memorable or what? 5 innings, 2 runs allowed, and the victory over the Houston Astros. Ground ball, Jack Wilson on to first.
Well, that's what you would like to do with Larkin right there. Tie him up inside. He loves the ball out over the plate. We saw it in Cincinnati. We've seen it forever. You get it up out over the plate, outside half, about belt high, he will shoot the ball over the right fielder's head so quickly. And that happened to Todd in Cincinnati on the opener, but that time he just got all in Larkin's thumbs.
Michael Tucker was showing bunt.
Normally a hitter is not going to be able to cover both places. If he's good away like Larkin is, you should be able to get in on him if you have a decent fastball. If he's real quick inside, there is no kitchen. You can't beat him in there. Well, then you should be able to pitch him away.
Set up away to Tucker.
Hitters can't cover both those spots. Good on-speed pitch at Tucker way out in front.
One ball, 2 strikes on the Red center fielder. Lays off that pitch from Todd Ritchie, who made his Pirates debut against Cincinnati in April of 1999. That was his first major league start. The former Twin, Todd Ritchie, didn't get that call.
Emergency type situation. He came up and just did such a fantastic job. It popped everybody's eyes. I was like, whoa, what have we got here?
What you have in Todd Ritchie, and if you've watched the Pirates the last couple of years, we've talked about it so often, you have a workhorse, a guy who handles his job so well, as does he, Terry Mulholland. Chris Benson on the disabled list, looking on.
Well,
Pirates aren't happy now.
No, they're going to be some woofing from
Now
that
you're gonna
Pirate
hear it.
dugout, because they've seen a lot of their guys get called out on strikes where the hitters are disagreeing with it, and now they want the same thing. When they see something close on a red hitter with 2 strikes, they want the call. We'll see where pitch track tells us the baseball is. Watch the last one. Which one? I guess this one up here was the last one. Is that right, Greg?
Yep.
Is that what you figured?
Yep. Pick-off try and picked out of the dirt. Michael Tucker has stolen a base through the Reds' first 7 games. Dimitri Young was hit by a Todd Ritchie pitch in the first inning. One ball, no strikes. 2 outs, 2-0 Reds. And the strike is called to Dimitri Young.
A nice change-up, fell behind him 1-0, and then pulled the string and painted it on the outside corner. Some kind of vantage point up here, looking out over this whole site, the beautiful field. There's the opening day logo on all the bases. But you're looking at it, the city, the river, the bridge. It's hard, sometimes it's hard to watch the game.
It really is.
You're just kind of like looking out.
It's awesome.
It is beautiful.
City of Pittsburgh.
They dressed the bridge up very colorfully today, too. A lot of different colored balloons flying around and streamers going off. It was really neat about an hour before the game, seeing everybody just flow across it like a river of people coming across that bridge. Good fast ball there. There you can see the bridge, all the different balloons just kind of fluttering in the wind, and orange and yellow, like big monarch butterflies or something.
The Clemente Bridge. One-two runner goes, taken for a ball. Kendall strong, and they nail him.
Not even close.
Jack Wilson applied the tag, caught stealing. Michael Tucker is out. And outside the left field entrance at PNC Park, the Willie Stargell statue. 2-0 Reds. We flash back to another Willie Stargell moment. 1971 World Series. The Pirates would come back to beat the Baltimore Orioles, due in large part to the great work of Roberto Clemente, but his good buddy Willie Stargell would shine in 1979. And another look from a live shot. We're gathering in tribute to Captain Willie.
30 years ago, that 71 team had a lot of those guys down in Dreamwick.
And in Bradenton, Florida, the theme of this year's Dream Week. Todd Ritchie, the chopper, thought it was going to be foul initially, and it ends up being foul, and Aaron Boone wisely didn't touch that ball. Speaking of,
I think he wanted to, just hit a dead spot and kicked out.
Before we forget, talking about the 71 World Series and that team, his teammate and our partner, Steve Blass, did a great job of the Open today. It's a tough day for Steve because he wants to enjoy PNC Park, but one of the heroes, of course, that 71 Series.
I'm sure this is a difficult day for Steve. He's really got to be going 2 different directions right now. That 1971, definitely a special year in Pittsburgh baseball forever.
Yeah, that's a very, very tough time. Those 2 guys were really good buddies, Willie Stargell and Steve Blass. And we loved to be around and listen to the banter between those 2 guys.
It was very enjoyable for me to be down there in January listening to those guys, the 71 guys going back and forth with each other. Ritchie hits that one hard.
1 out, the line drive to left. I want to let you know that Tuesday, April 17th, the Pirates will host Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio, and the Houston Astros. It's a Giant Eagle Advantage Card night. Present your Giant Eagle Advantage card to the PNC Park ticket office window, and $4 will be taken off the price of your ticket based on availability.
I was watching the way those guys, Greg, were interacting with each other down there. You know, they hadn't, some of them hadn't been in a locker room with each other for 30 years. Line in the center field. Now, see if we can get something going. But to see that was just awesome that those guys could do that and felt so comfortable with each other. And that's what you like to see with this club, and that's what's kind of been missing a little bit.
Starting to see it come about now. Camaraderie. Take a look at today's UPMC injury update. Chris Benson, Francisco Cordova, Terry Mulholland, Jason Schmidt. On the 15-day disabled list, you won't see Benjamin or Rich Loisel anytime soon. Alex Hernandez will be in the minor leagues if you weren't on the DL.
Now, what a lot of people, Greg, are going to tell you, you know, they say, well, they won the World Championship. It's easy for those guys to have that camaraderie and come together like that. But you have to believe that some of that, you know, pulling for each other and enjoying going to the ballpark and interacting with each other, that had to contribute something to winning that World Series and being champions. You know, you look at those guys in a room. You know, Stargell wasn't there, Clemente wasn't there, but there weren't a lot of like superstars around there. There were a bunch of good baseball players that came together and did a great job.
It was a perfect mix. We could get on each other. Talking about the 71 World Series champion Pittsburgh Pirates. One of the great things about PNC Park is that it helps bring back some of the tremendous history of this 115-year-old franchise. 0-2 on Derek Bell.
Well, how right you are there, Greg. You know, I really thought that for a while there that really got lost. That, you know,
and a lot of that might have had to do with
playing poorly, with bad record every year, but you know.
It's one of the great things about moving into your own home, your own ballpark. You don't share it with anybody, and you can understand that at Three Rivers. Maybe you weren't allowed to do some things, but now you can show off what a great franchise this really is.
It doesn't matter what this team's record is last year, year before, this year, whatever. When you put on that Pirate uniform, you got something very special, something to be proud of. And also, there's franchises that are like that, the premier franchises in baseball. Cincinnati Reds here today, they're like that. The Dodgers, the Cardinals. There are certain uniforms you put on, you have a little extra reason to be proud of wearing it. You're proud to be a major leaguer anyway.
Extra special to put on a Pirates uniform. Lloyd McClendon made that known. One of the first things he told his players, and you know, I'm tired of you guys saying sometimes over the last couple of years, the Pirates are no good. The Pirates stink. Well, you know what? No, they don't. You do. basically what Lloyd McClendon said. Don't attribute that word to this organization or to that uniform. A great one. The statue just over the Clemente Bridge on the New North Shore. 1-2 pitch, and he gets Derek Bell. 2 outs.
Derek Bell going down twice on strike today. Getting off to a little bit of a slow start.
Just some of the history.
Yeah, they've put a lot of the ex-players up on got their baseball cards, put them up on banners all around the ballpark. And the real stars,
Yeah.
That's a little young there, huh?
A little bit. Taken 3 years ago.
And
That
40
picture.
pounds.
Jason Kendall.
Don't tell him I said that. But yeah, some of the real stars, of course, that we've had that have played, they have their own banners outside the ballpark. And Steve has one of those where he looks a little bit older on that banner. But like you're saying, Greg, you're finally being able to show off what kind of traditions you have.
I think that says it well. I think the Pirates and this city are showing off today and from this point forward.
Now all we need is some runs.
Yep. Runner goes. And a good time to go as Adrian Brown will steal without a throw. Trying to make something happen against this rookie, Chris Rietsma.
Adrian Brown, straight steal, you don't look over your shoulder, so he had no idea that the ball had been in the dirt and bounced away, so he went into the head first slide.
Got him with the off speed. 1-2. Chris Rietsma was traded from the Boston Red Sox in August of last year in the Dante Bichette trade. A former first rounder by Boston in 1996, a native of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. One-two pitch. Roller to third. Aaron Boone up with it. And a throw a bit high, but Sean Casey gets it. Pirates, nothing going through 3 innings against this rookie, Chris Rietsma. But we're early at PNC Park. You are watching exclusive coverage of the home opener at PNC Park, the first game officially ever played. And there's a look from the Clemente Bridge. We pan across the Allegheny right into this beautiful new ballpark. And we are going to join, I understand, Rob Nicoleski. He is out at the Van Dyke Business Systems Rotunda in left field. Rob?
Thanks a lot, Greg. One of the really nice quirks about this ballpark is this rotunda. That's just about the equivalent of a 6-story building. We're out here with Kevin from Point Breeze. And Kevin, why are you standing here at the rotunda instead of sitting in one of your seats?
Well, my buddy and I couldn't get tickets together, so we came down and we're walking around trying to find some spare seats, but we found the view here and it's pretty good.
This is actually a pretty good view.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's a good place to watch the action.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Greg, back to you. By the way, I talked to another fan out here, not Kevin, but he said one of the great things about the rotunda is he's that much closer to the beer vendor. Priorities, priorities.
Well, you got that right. Rob, thank you. Dimitri Young at the plate when Michael Tucker was caught stealing.
And if you're not a baseball fan, what a great place this is just to come and enjoy food and drink.
Hang out. Yeah.
You have all kinds of choices. The other day you told me you had sushi here, didn't you?
Yeah.
They have sushi at
Yep.
the ballpark now.
It's good.
How was
too.
it?
Excellent. Up by the Bankovitz place. There's a fly ball to right field. Derek Bell has it. Dimitri Young is out. Time now for our Aflac trivia question. And it is, which current coaches from the Pirates and the Reds were present for both the opening of Three River Stadium and, of course, PNC Park?
Trying to think of our first hint of the year here.
dulls me when I don't come up with a good hint. Strike called to Sean Casey. One ball, one strike.
Gull, you mean like in seagull?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking along the lines of birds, you know, quail.
Way ahead of them.
Okay, folks, there's your hints. Quail and gulls. Give you bird hints. Now you have to figure it out.
Ground ball. And just under the glove of Pat Mears. Sean Casey 2 for 2. Casey was as happy, I'm sure, as anyone that the Pirates left Three Rivers. He hit just 175 there. His former manager Jack McKeon said, especially early on,
well, that
year, he was putting too much pressure on himself.
That was the thing. You know, a young guy comes into his hometown. You know, sometimes you just can't relax. Pat giving it a good effort. Kendall's Dodger Stadium numbers aren't all that great.
Casey in his 4th year with the Reds since coming over from the Indians. Now the batter, Alex Ochoa. He got that perfect hop off the wall and right on the Brian Giles line drive in the 1st inning and kept the Pirates from scoring. Jason Kendall forced to stop at 3rd. Kendall with the block. 1 ball, 1 strike. Talking to Kendall last night. Said his mom is here at the game along with his sister, his niece, some friends. His mother here for the first time since 1997 to see Kendall play in person.
What happened
in Pittsburgh?
What happened last time she was here?
Last time she was here was the Cordova Rincon no-hitter in July of 1997.
Well, I'm expecting big things again today. Then.
Kendall's mother had traveled to Detroit to see Fred Kendall, Casey's father, who had at that time been a coach with the Tigers, and she made it into Pittsburgh. She said to Jason, she said, I was with Brian Hunter's mom, who was playing for the Tigers, and he hit a home run for her. Fly ball to left. And in fair territory, the catch made.
To win the game, and her point being, so
what are you going to do for me?
So something special going to happen tonight? Well, she came through, got the no-hitter.
Brian Giles made that catch just before crossing into fair territory.
He's got that little corner of the stands that's going to come out real soon there. He's got to be aware of. You know, Giles is learning this left field, and this is going to be a tough one for left fielders to play. You have the angle of the fence when it leaves the foul pole that goes out sharply. It gets out there very deep. There's that little corner I was talking about, where the ball boy stands.
Aaron Boone, Ramos Ramirez decides to let the shortstop Wilson take it, and Wilson does indeed. 3.5, 2-0 Reds. Hey, there's an old teammate of Bob's, John Smiley, and his family.
Lovely wife Dana sitting next to him. Okay, here's our question. Now remember, what was the birds?
Current coaches from the Reds and the Pirates who were present for both the opening of Three Rivers in 1970 and
Gulls and quail.
Here today. Gulls, Don Gullett, and the Quail, nicknamed by former Pirate Bill Verdon. Don Gullett.
Don, a flame-throwing lefty.
Pirates frustrated here against Chris Reitsma. Here's the Quail. Tough day for him as well with passing on Willie Stargell.
Yeah, I'm sure that's really got to have his mind spin a little bit. You know, talk about you know, hearing about that this morning myself and memories coming through. Think of the things that I'm sure that Bill was thinking about.
Aramis Ramirez to dead center, but Michael Tucker tracks it down nicely. Lowe's improving, home improvements. The numbers: Pirates offense the first 4 games scored only 10 runs, last 2 had scored 14. Of course, Aramis Ramirez had 6 RBIs by himself yesterday.
In-run field helps out a little bit too. You go down there, you're going to score runs. It's almost impossible not to.
The impressive thing is what the Pirates pitchers did against the Astros hitters in that 3-game series. Gave up 4 runs in the first game, 3 game 2, and just 3 yesterday. Bronson Arroyo set the tone the other day. Got the victory against Kent Bottenfield on Saturday. Now Kevin Young.
Bronson was kind of interestingly wild.
Yeah.
There early in the ball game.
More interesting was his explanation.
He got the Astros back on their heels. That was for sure.
Talked about the humid day in Houston. I didn't know that the other day there was even a hint of humidity in the air, but according to Bronson Arroyo, there was. 2-1 on Kevin Young.
Next time we go there, it'll be in August. It'll be plenty humid then, but it really was kind of a very nice weekend.
3-1.
Talking about that 71 team, I keep going back to that. I was thinking Doc Ellis when I saw him out there and hitting everybody who came to the plate early in the game. You know, when Doc had that with the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
Everything kind of comes together.
One day that summer, hit the first 4 guys. Doc Ellis, who, by the way, was the pitcher when the Pirates opened up against the Reds July 16th, 1970. And Three River Stadium. There's ball 4 to Kevin Young. See if a free pass will lead to anything.
I've always kind of liked to read about Doc, see the things he did. Some of the stuff a little different, you know, it's different personality. But you know, anytime that there was a good pitcher in your team's history that wore the same number you did, Doc wore number 17. So that makes me kind of pay attention to some of the things he did. And then I got to meet him and you know, spend some time around the ballpark for a week down in Florida. He is, in a lot of ways, a lot like Steve is, as far as entertaining in that clubhouse, and never shutting up, always on everybody. I mean, it's hilarious. And then he and Steve would kind of go at each other and back to the ball game.
One on Mears.
That's what's kind of happened to me today, is that everything going on here is really making me think about all the players that have wore this uniform down there coming into this ballpark. It's a historical day. Also makes you think of the past. And then, of course, with the passing of Willie early this morning, it adds to it.
Pirates wearing those sleeveless uniforms for the first time since that 1970 season when they moved from Forbes Field to Three Rivers. Signed for Willie Stargell, number 8. Two and 1 on Mears, who lined out to right center field in his first at bat in the 2nd inning. Pirates are trying to snap a 7-game home opener losing streak. Their last win in a home opener was April 6, 1993, when Tim Wakefield beat the San Diego Padres. 2-2. Rietsma came back with that fastball, and Mears not able to touch it. 2-2. Runner goes and popped up. Playable, perhaps. Oh, what a play there by Sean Casey. He makes the grab just before stepping down into that dugout. Pat Mears fouls out. That completes the bottom of the 4th inning. Chris Rietsma blanking the Pirates on 3 hits. Casey's homer has the Reds in front. 2-0 here at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's get back to Stan Savran with special guest, the Commissioner of Baseball, Bud Selig.
Thanks very much, Greg. Commissioner, you were here before even the groundbreaking when they mapped out, well, here's and put a little miniature ballpark. What's your reaction to seeing it now from that first day 2 years ago?
It's fantastic. The great thing for me was when I walked in here today and walked around, it looks like an old ballpark. It brings back so many wonderful memories, yet it has everything a new ballpark should have. They've done an absolutely masterful job here. This place is remarkable.
And of course, you're familiar with new openings because this has been a busy week for you with your park up in Milwaukee.
It has. It's been a thrill. Baseball is enriched when you take two cities like Milwaukee and Pittsburgh, very much alike in so many ways, and now they both have new ballparks. And the most important thing it does is guarantee baseball now for the next 2 generations. And I'm thrilled for everybody in Milwaukee and Wisconsin, and the same for Pittsburgh and everybody in Pennsylvania.
But it's both ironic and sort of poetic that on this day, opening day, Willie Stargell would pass away. Your reaction, please.
Very sad. I'm a great believer in the history and tradition of the game. I was lucky. I was able to see Willie Stargell play in Milwaukee a lot when the old Brave Pirate days, and then later on too. And he was such a wonderful human being. He was what you really want in an athlete off the field. His exploits on the field were just remarkable. And he died at such a young age, and he was such a wonderful human being. I think Kevin McClatchy said it well today. He said it was a bittersweet day, and that's right. Very sad.
Lastly, Bud, we had Donald Fear on earlier. I don't know if you have to fine yourself for speaking in public about potential negotiations. He said that the atmosphere, the climate was much better today than it was in 1994. Would you agree?
Oh, there's no question about it. I've been in the game now 32 years, and I can tell you that the atmosphere has never been this good. It's remarkable. I can tell you from the day I walked in 1970, the atmosphere was ugly, my first major league meeting, and it never got any better. It's better than it's ever been. I give Don and Paul Beeston, Gene Orza of the Players Association, Rob Manfred of our staff, all the credit. They're working well together. They do a lot of things together. All of us had a lot of input. And, well, I'm not in the prediction business. Don's absolutely right. The atmospherics are like they have never been before, and that's a big help.
But your sense is that we'll be here 12 months from today watching baseball?
Well, I don't make any predictions. You know, being in Pittsburgh, we have problems to solve. We have disparity problems. There are other problems that exist, and it's my job to make sure those problems get solved. But I'm hopeful that we can do it in a quiet and a sensitive manner and get it done and keep moving on, because we're in the midst of the greatest renaissance in baseball history. The game's never been more popular, due in large part because of these new ballparks and everything else, and we have to make sure that continues without interruption.
Great, Commissioner. Thanks so much for spending the time with us, and enjoy your day. It's a wonderful day.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Bud Selig, Commissioner of Baseball. Greg and Walkie, back to you guys.
Stan, thank you. Sounds positive, and for the criticism that Bud Selig has received since he was named commissioner by Major League Baseball, it's one thing I keep saying. I really believed it then. I believe it more today, that he has changed the rancor of the talks between the players and the owners. Much less acrimony, much more civil now. Try and get something done. Chris Rietsma 0-2 the count with a runner at second and 1 out. The pitcher at the plate. You saw the ground ball after the Castro single. Bob, Kelly Sinnett grounded it to Jack Wilson. You think he had a play at second?
Yes, I did. I thought that when he was fielding that ball, I didn't think Castro was any closer than, say, maybe 20 feet to the bag. And as quick as we've seen Jack Wilson, I thought he had the force play for sure right in front of him. But he took the sure out.
And hanging in there is the pitcher, Rietsma.
You know what would have happened? They got the force at second base, and Rietsma would have bunted Stinnett over there. So hopefully if we get Rietsma out, you'd have the same situation anyway. Larkin coming up with runner at second base.
0-2. Count on the pitcher. Ritchie tries to get him. Camp 1-2. Ritchie pitching 6 innings last week in the opener for Pittsburgh. First game of the season. Oh, and that got a piece of the pitcher, and then it whacked the home plate umpire, Bill Welke.
Where did that hit Rietzma?
I think it hit him in the helmet and deflected to the umpire. It sounded as if it hit the helmet.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like, but Rietzma acts like nothing happened. It must have just been a very slight glancing blow. Well, it popped him pretty good. This ball changes direction by quite a bit. It hit Rietzma right in the top of the helmet. And then Mr. Wilkie right in that right arm. We're going to have a little bit of a delay here, perhaps. You think, Greg?
And onto the field, so Barry Larkin will take an extra moment before he steps in. Todd Ritchie will also wait. Larkin has struck out and grounded out.
Well, it shouldn't be too much longer. It looks like the fan is going to leave with no problem.
2 on, 1 out. And Ritchie to face Barry Larkin, who has struck out and grounded out. Larkin had a great series against Pittsburgh. 4 hits and 9 at-bats, was on base 10 times.
They're going to try and get Larkin out inside when they throw the fastballs to him. Want to stay away from out over the outside part of the plate. Fastballs on his hands. Right in this area here is where they want to throw the fastball. Now it looked like Kendall slid inside and wanted that pitch in there. It was in the dirt way outside. If that's the case, Ritchie really had trouble with his release point. He let that one out of his hand. They didn't want to leave.
1-0 on Larkin with 2 on and 1 out. The Reds up by 2, 5th inning.
Watch Kendall, see which way he goes. He stayed right in the middle of the plate and he got a breaking ball. A lot of times you can tell what pitch is going to be without having to look at the signals, just watching which way the catcher moves. If he stays in the middle or he doesn't move much at all, probably going to be a breaking ball. But if you see him slide inside, put that glove up there by that hitter's hands underneath the elbows, you know he's going to throw you a fastball.
Two balls and a strike. You had a quick shot there of.
That's why you see some hitters, they'll kind of peek a little bit when they're wagging the bat back and forth. It's after the signs have been put down, but they're still looking down there to try and see if they can catch some movement by the catcher. Catchers, of course, they'll always try and move as late as they can. They don't want that hitter to know where they're going.
A shot of pitch coach Spin Williams. Double play ball. Yes, it is. Ritchie rolls another. And that team of Wilson and Mears turning it. The Bucks very much within striking distance at the halfway mark of the first game ever at PNC Park. The opener, 2-0 Reds. Reds lead this game 2-0. Tonight, Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. 30 minutes of news completely dedicated to Pittsburgh's home teams. Tonight, some of the stories you'll catch. Obviously, the PNC Park opener. Stargell remembered. Penguins prepare for the playoffs. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight at 10 o'clock here on Fox Sports Net.
Penn should be able to handle Capitals, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. It's a given. Get by that first round. Good luck to the Pens.
All right, I'm holding you there.
All right.
When's the first game?
Don't hold me to this. It's Cam Bonifay, Pirates general manager. Busy on the phone. Andy Oserchuk of Altoona. Giant Eagle home run hitters contestant. Jack Wilson chops this one foul. What's the first game? Is it tomorrow or Thursday?
Thursday, let's say. I'm not
Thursday?
sure.
Thursday. Thank you, Stan. Thursday, Saturday. Monday and Wednesday at home. Jack Wilson lines it. Oh, speared by the shortstop Larkin.
Yeah, we can't seem to put it together against the Reds. Bunch some hits together against these guys. Well, just tried to crawl and just didn't make it. Kind of the way the game ended opening night, the call that Giles had.
Jack Wilson. Pirates starting shortstop. Before this year, not played above the Double-A level. Actually takes a strike. Chris Reetzma, second big league appearance.
The Pirates definitely having a tough time figuring this guy out. He's changed a little bit. You know, I think that he's using the breaking ball quite a bit more than we saw it in Cincinnati.
That didn't miss by a whole lot.
Cincinnati, when he threw the breaking ball, a lot of them were hanging way high, couldn't get on top and get it down. And the changeup was a big weapon.
Strike 3 on Richie. 5th K for Chris Reetzma.
Well, Greg, weeknights, it's Totally NASCAR, only on Fox Sports Net, your exclusive all-access garage pass with 30 minutes of NASCAR news and highlights, plus the latest development on what's gearing up for this week's race. Totally NASCAR, weeknights at 6 p.m. only on Fox Sports Net.
Well done.
Dale Jarrett dominating things right now on the NASCAR circuit. He's really on a roll.
So Reetzma breaking ball. We have you do all those the rest of the way if you don't mind. Those
No,
done so well.
I think we should share them, Greg.
Yeah.
Of course, you never let me read any of the other ones, so maybe I should.
Well, you got it now.
There's the changeup I'm talking about. You can see the hand come off the bat, the top hand. When the hitter is fooled, that hand will come off early. That helicopter-like finish.
One ball, one strike on Adrian Brown. Bounce to the right side. And 1, 2, 3 go the Pirates through 5 innings. Chris Reetzma has allowed just 3 hits, 2-0 Redlegs.
Pirates Baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Chrysler. See your local Chrysler dealer today. By Advance Auto Parts, the best part is our people. And by Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
We're back at PNC Park. Let's rejoin Rob Nicoleski here at PNC Park. Rob.
Hi, Greg. Baseball, they say it's a game of inches, but it's more of a game of feet out here, just a few feet. About 15, 20, 25 feet, and you can be right behind the left fielder out here in the left field bleachers. The fans here have been giving Dimitri Young a hard time, but so far nothing's been hit to him.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rob, that is incredible. That shot we just saw of you, it looked as though you were on the field when we first saw you. That is incredible. Look at how close you are as a fan to being on that field.
You're still a little ways away from Brian, though. I don't want Rob telling me I got a 15-foot putt.
Fly ball over the head of the center fielder, Adrian Brown. It's Michael Tucker who leads off the 6th inning with a double. Thanks to Rob. We'll get back to him again, showing us the sights around PNC Park.
This ball doesn't look like it's really tagged when it comes off the bat. You saw that swing of Tucker. It looked like the ball maybe was even off the end a little bit. Bottom of the strike zone, middle of the plate. Questech.com bringing us pitch tracks.
And bringing pitching coach Spin Williams to the mound. With Josias Manzanillo warming up.
Manzanillo has really been featuring a very good fastball of late. He's throwing the ball exceptionally hard in Houston.
I asked Ben Williams the day after. I said, was that radar gun on the scoreboard correct? We kept seeing 96 from Josias Manzanillo, and he says, well, I don't know if it was or not. So, well, what did the Pirates radar gun say? He said, we don't use it anymore. He and Lloyd McClendon decided to get rid of the radar gun they used to use to chart every pitch.
What tells you he was throwing hard is the fact that he was getting a lot of swings and misses of fastballs that were center cut, belt high, and they were making no contact. He was throwing 96.
Bunted. Ritchie will throw to first. Sacrifice for Dimitri Young. Goes 1-3. They'll bring up Sean Casey. Coors Light, what's on tap? Pirates and the Reds Wednesday night here at PNC Park. Also Thursday night, first 2 night games ever in the history of this ballpark, and then on to Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Saturday-Sunday games will be televised on Fox Sports Net. Infield drawn in now against Casey, who has homered and singled.
Interesting strategy, I thought, Greg, that was being used there. You're up 2 runs. You have your number, well, the middle of your lineup coming up. Your 3-hitter at the plate, and you went to the sacrifice bunt. And I guess you can draw conclusions from that. One thing is that you would think that in Boone's mind, 1 more run is very important. He's very pleased, obviously, with what his starting pitcher Richmond's doing. He is not playing for a big inning here. He's playing for 1 more run with using your number 3-hitter to sacrifice.
They're going to be very careful, though, to Sean Casey. The base is empty. They're already behind 2-0 on him. And a 2-0 Reds lead. Right-hand hitting Alex Ochoa on deck, and Aaron Boone. I think they'd be extremely careful to Sean Casey. Inning. Why should you be careful to this guy? 2 outs, a man on. And Sean Casey now owns the distinction of being the first player ever to homer officially at PNC Park. The man who started Upper St. Clair High School. Is out of play. 2-2. Casey, a second-round pick of the Cleveland Indians in 19-2-1. Out of play. First inning. Why should you be careful to this guy? 2 outs, a man on. And Sean Casey now owns the distinction of being first player ever to homer officially at PNC Park. The man who started Upper St. Clair High School. That is out of play. 2-2. Casey, a second-round pick of the Cleveland Indians in 1995, and then dealt the very end of spring training before the '98 season for Dave Burba. Burba went from the Reds to the Indians, and Cincinnati got Sean Casey. 2-2 with one out, runner at third, infield in. And look what Casey does. Makes it 3-0. Casey 3 for 3 and owns all 3 runs batted in.
As you watch that ball roll into the outfield, you see where it crossed the outfield grass, not very far away from where you would normally be as a second baseman. But when you bring the infield in, as you kind of have to do in that situation, you really just kind of open things up. You can see where Mears is. This ball's going to roll through the infield right out here. Now, normally that's where the second baseman would have been playing, so that would be a routine out. And that's why managers hate to have to bring in their infield. But when you fall behind early in a ball game, as the Pirates did right there with the home run of Casey's, then that kind of forces your hand. You can't continue to trade runs for outs. You have to put a stop to it sometimes. So you have to bring that infield in.
1 ball, 1 strike on Alex Ochoa, who has grounded out and flied to left.
You're the team that has the 2-run lead, and you'll trade a run for an out.
One and 2 on the former Met, former Oriole, Alex Ochoa. And he goes the other way, and a base hit. Puts 2 men on with 1 out in the 6th inning.
And if Mack is out of the dugout, that's going to be it.
Lloyd McClendon will go to the bullpen here in the 6th. The Pirates down by 3. Josias Manzanillo will be coming on. It's our Verizon wireless call to the pen. Richie exits earlier than he had hoped, and let's head out to the bullpen with Josias Manzanillo coming out of relief. We'll tell you more about him, but right now, Rob Nikoletsky about those bullpens.
Thanks a lot, Greg. We were talking about how in the left field you're so close to the left fielder. Well, here in the left field bleachers, you're right next to the Pirates dugout. Look how close you are. You've heard about other stadiums saying you can be so close you can hear the crack of the bat. Well, here you can hear the crack of the shell of the sunflower seeds. You're that close.
Thank you, Rob. That's impressive.
Notice where they have the visitors, though. The visitors bullpen, they have that back away from the stands. From being down in those bullpens, Philadelphia, New York, Shea Stadium, you don't want to be sitting that close to the fans, believe me, not if you're the visiting team. And they've moved them away, of course, here in PNC Park. Things can get unfriendly down there.
Well, Josias Manzanillo was unfriendly when he came out to face the Astros on Friday night. 2 strong scoreless innings, allowing a couple of hits. Fastball for a strike to Aaron Boone, who has struck out looking and grounded out. Pirates really need Manzanillo to shut it down now, trailing by 3 in the 6th. Boone lines it. Jack Wilson, a double play.
You asked for it. That's putting out the fire. Look at Manzi run off.
The Manzi sprint into the dugout. Todd Ritchie, one of the first to congratulate him. Wilson and Mears, another double play. The Pirates trail by 3. Back at PNC Park, Greg Brown along with Bob Walk. The Reds lead 3-0. Our Pennzoil protection plays of the game. Jack Wilson has been involved. A couple of double plays to protect a 2-0 deficit. That one in the 2nd inning. Another here with Mears in the 5th, and just now you saw the line drive off the bat of Aaron Boone. 3 DPs turned by that middle infield of Wilson and Mears. Franco Harris One of many celebrities on hand today.
Those double plays are just like an oil change. Running smoothly, don't they?
Well put.
And so you want them in a regular every 3,000 miles or 2.5 innings. What do you think?
Perfect. 2-0 on Derek Bell. He has struck out twice against Chris Reitsma. Third time now through the order for this rookie right-hander, Chris Reitsma. Now with a fly ball, Michael Tucker. Out number 1. Bob?
Oh, you want me to read? You let me read?
Yeah.
Okay, weeknights at 6:30 p.m. Tune in to Sports Beat right here on Fox Sports Net. How was that?
Perfect.
I wasn't sure which part I was supposed to read there. The part that's highlighted in green. Is that it?
That'd be nice. Jason Kendall, 1 for 2, an infield hit. Strike is called. The Pirates with just 3 hits today against Chris Reitsma.
You're giving me a warning when you want me to read something. I can proofread it now. Stan was right here. He could have read it.
Yeah?
It's his show. Where'd he go? He ran off, didn't he?
Yeah. Grab another guest. Interesting to hear from Donald Gear and Bud Selig today. There he is.
Guys want to know.
We wanted you to read the Sports Beat promo. Bob.
We were fighting over who got to read it.
We're actually doing a show from here tonight.
Oh, we should know that. That's right. Stan and Guy are going to be here at the ballpark tonight at a postgame show after the game is over. Kendall with a fly ball and a diving grab and right by Alex Ochoa.
Everything seems to be breaking right for the Reds right now. We've seen, you know, a couple of balls that are hit halfway decent that just are a couple of feet away from being extra bases. It really got started early in this ball game with that ball that was hit down the line by Ramirez. Perfect timing on the dive. You remember the Ramirez ball down the line? Aaron Boone dove for it. That kind of made, that was the start of a lot of plays like this. Line drive earlier that Larkin went way up high for. And of course, this is Ochoa's second fine play of the day. Ryan Giles shot off the wall that it turned into a single. We look for kind of a turning point type thing of this ball game. That's a big difference.
2-1 on Giles. Two outs, nobody on, 6th inning.
There's that changeup. You know, Giles has a very short, compact swing. He does not commit to the swing very early at all. So he's the type of guy that you can judge a pitcher's changeup off of. You see Giles get fooled badly way out in front, you know that's a quality changeup. You see some guys, especially power hitters, big, long, looping swings. So you get those guys out in front just by taking something off your fastball sometimes. But Giles, very short, compact swing. Can't get him off his stride very often.
Pops him up. Foul territory, the catcher Stinnett. The Bucks go down in order for the 2nd straight inning. 7 straight set down by the rookie Chris Reitsma. Through 6 in the opener at PNC Park. It's the Reds 3, the Pirates nothing. You're watching Pirates baseball, exclusive coverage of PNC Park's home opener in Pittsburgh. So far the Reds have done it all. Enough offense, outstanding defense, great pitching from Chris Reitsma. The Pirates within striking distance, but now getting into the later innings. Juan Castro has singled twice. Todd Ritchie started, went 5 1/3, gave up the 3 runs on 7 hits. Bucks need another big outing from the bullpen.
Reachman definitely has been a mystery to the Pirates so far in these 2 games. Cannot do much with him.
Juan Castro fouls it out of play.
Manzanillo is the type of guy that when you see him with a good fastball, you can tell he's enjoying himself. Because that, you know, he wants to have so much fun out there anyway. And when he is really popping the ball, then he can be aggressive. He can just go right at the hitters, and you can just see his facial expressions that this is going to be fun. And you could tell too how he was in the clubhouse and you know, on the bus and stuff.
Josias Manzanillo in front of the count.
Started feeling it really in Cincinnati. I don't think he felt 100%, you know, arm-wise strong all through spring training. The whole month of March we were down there. You could just tell that there was something that was bothering him a little bit. He wasn't consistent in his pitching. Wow, I thought that one was a pretty nice pitch, but I'm going to peek at pitch track. That tells us it was inside. But Manzi is a pleasure to be around when his arm's feeling well and he's throwing the ball good.
Fly ball, Adrian Brown laying him perfectly in right center. Castro is out. Castro getting the start for Pokey Reese at second base. Pokey Reese limited with the sore hamstring. A limited number of tickets available for the first night game ever at Three River Stadium. That's fireworks night, which comes up on Wednesday evening, and then Thursday night, inaugural season cap night. While they last, get them. Toll free, 877-893-BUCKS. That's 877-893-BUCS. Log on to the website, PittsburghPirates.com, or visit the PNC Park ticket office or any Pirates clubhouse store. Ken Griffey Jr., speaking of hamstrings, has been out.
Ask you a question, Greg. I don't know if you know the answer to it, but do you know where they're going to, the new fireworks location is going to be?
I'm kind of assuming from the barge, but I don't know that.
Just right out here. They're going to dock it right outside.
It'll be fun to watch. Wednesday night, the city will light up. Kelly Stinnett, a count of 2-1. There's been some notion that the Reds, after being swept by the Milwaukee Brewers over the weekend, have been pressing in the absence of Ken Griffey Jr. And Bob Boone said it could be a while yet before Griffey is back in as a starter. 2-2. Bob Boone, the first-year skipper of the Reds, former teammate of Bob's in Philadelphia. Four-time All-Star Bob Boone, a three-time skipper in Kansas City. 3 years with the Royals.
Talking about the home run that Willie hit off me in the first game I ever pitched. Boone called that pitch.
Catcher's fault. 2-2 on Kelly Stinnett.
Bob Boone, very good defensive catcher. One of the best.
The Reds catcher, Kelly Stinnett, strikes out looking.
Take a look at it again. One of those high strikes. I mean, that ball is up there above the belt, and that would almost never be called a strike before. The pitch track tells us it's right at the top of what the zone is supposed to be. PressTech.com providing us pitch track so we can really kind of get a handle on that. The strike zone is going to be a story this year. We're going to have to look at it a lot.
Give these umpires credit.
They've changed. I didn't believe it in spring training because I didn't see much difference in spring training. But this is game 7 for us, and I think that the first game we saw opening night, Cincinnati, I probably saw more high strikes called the first couple innings than I thought I saw the whole month of March.
Chris Reitsma down, and Manzanillo, a 1-2-3, top of the 7th. See if the Pirate bats can wake up here as we head to the home half. 7th inning stretch time in Pittsburgh, PNC Park. Getting set for the bottom of the 7th inning. The Reds lead the Pirates 3-0. The home opener at PNC Park. Let's get back to Stan Savran. Stan?
Thanks, Greg. PNC Park, of course, is an oasis in a city setting, and the oasis is growing ever larger. You are looking at the Steelers' brand new setting. A patch of gold in the middle of the city, as it were, just to show you how close the two parks are in case you haven't been to the North Shore in quite some time. And what's amazing to me, looking out the back of our broadcast booth from PNC to the new Steelers Stadium, is how close it looks, and the fact that Three Rivers Stadium actually sat in between. Looking at the empty space now, it doesn't look like it was possible to fit a 60,000-seat stadium in there, but now that's gone, a pile of dust. Going to the wind somewhere, and the new Steelers Stadium will open with an exhibition game in August. Not all that far away, geographically or logistically.
Thanks, Dan. That's an impressive shot right there. Aramis Ramirez leads off of the base, hitting the bottom of the 7th inning.
More good defensive work again by the Cincinnati Reds. That ball, when it left the bat, I thought that's in the corner. Extra bases. We start with a leadoff double, but to meet Trey Young, boy, he got to that quick.
Joseph Uros of Forest Hills is our Giant Eagle home run hitters contestant.
He got over there, cut that ball off, did not even allow it to get to the warning track, much less touch the wall. Strong throw in the second. Aramis had to put the brakes on.
Kevin Young has struck out looking and walked, and a base hit. 2 aboard.
Well, that's got to get that Red bullpen cranking now. Now we need a long ball.
Pat Mears will come to the plate. Don Gullett was on the phone for that Reds bullpen. They are, of course, without a big gun. That's Scott Williamson.
Out
2 years ago was the Rookie of the Year. Out for the year. Pat Mears will check in with Trent Jewett. Left-hander is Dennis Reyes.
Everybody's coming into the mound right now. They're trying to go into a little delay tactics there. Give that bullpen chance to get loose. But Bill Wilkie, the home plate umpire, as soon as he saw the infielders run in, he walked out there to the mound and said, okay, guys, let's break it up. Let's get the game going here a little bit. But that's what, you know, veteran infielders would do, catchers, but Larkin especially. He's been doing this for so many years. He knows what the bullpen just got up. He's like another coach manager out there in the field. So I'm going to go to the mound. We'll talk a little bit.
Slow things down, maybe quiet the crowd a bit.
While I'm out there for 30 seconds, those guys in the bullpen are going to get another 4 tosses.
Let's go Bucks chant. 38,000 at PNC Park. Pat Mears is lined out and fouled out. The right-hander is John Riedling. He's been impressive. 2 times the Pirates have seen him. 2 on, nobody out. The Bucks trying to score a run. Get back in it, down by 3. 0-2 on Mears.
Pulled off the breaking ball a little bit. Tough pitch to hit. Down and away. Looks like he was out of the zone a little bit.
Broken bat. Pitcher. And everybody's safe. What might have been a double play ball, if he comes up with it cleanly, everybody's safe, and the first PNC Park rally.
Well, last inning when Ochoa made that great diving catch in the outfield, I was talking about little breaks not going our way so far in this game, but boy, here's a big one that does. Just a tapper back to the mound, and you're right, Greg, if he gets that glove on that, there's a chance that's 2 outs. Instead, bases loaded, nobody out. Here we go.
Jack Wilson.
And you see one of the bigger cards being played right now by Lloyd McClendon.
Not Jack Wilson. John Vanderwall. John Vanderwall will pinch hit for Jack Wilson with the bases loaded and nobody out, and Bob Boone will counter with his left-hander, Dennis Reyes. We'll wait to see the left-hander come in to face the Pirates pinch hitter John Vanderwall after this Verizon Wireless call to the pen. That says it all. Win one for Pops. Willie Stargell, who passed away early this morning. Chris Rietsma, outstanding job again with the second start in the big leagues. Kevin McClatchy wearing the number 8 jersey. And now it's John Vander Wal against the left-hander Dennis Reyes. These two matched up in the opening road trip, like the opening game for the Pirates last Tuesday. The Bucks were down 3-0 in the 7th inning. They had runners at first and third when Lloyd McClendon pinch hit Vander Wal. He had a good at bat against Dennis Reyes. He ended up drawing a walk. Reyes is tough on left-handers. Vander Wal obviously hits right-handers a lot better. One base runners.
What you have to do is when you're pinch hitter, you have to be aggressive. Look for that first fastball and charge after it. Vander Wal tried but came up empty. Had a great at bat off Wagner, I thought, in yesterday's ball game. Ended up grounding out, but you hang in off him as a left-handed hitter, you can hang in off anybody.
Broken back, perhaps third base.
There we go.
That's some PNC Park magic.
Thanks, Pops. Pop trying to get us some help on that one.
This might be Willie's inning. Perhaps 2 double play balls dropped by the Reds. And the Pirates still in business, down by 2.
Aaron Boone with a crucial error in that ball game that the Pirates won in Cincinnati.
And now Enrique Wilson, the switch hitter, will pinch hit for Manzanillo. In the 7th inning, infield looks for a double play ball. Nobody out. Ball 1. Bouncer left side, Boone to second for 1 to first. There's the double play. And now it's a 3-2 game. Not what the Bucks wanted.
No.
Of course, the Reds will take that. Now it's a 1-run game.
This is like a replay. Boone gets a second chance at the same exact thing. This time gets it right. Nice quick flip. The inning's not over.
2 outs, runner at third.
Tie this up.
No RBI for Wilson. Adrian Brown has struck out, singled and stole a base in the third, grounded out his last time. Strike from the left-hander Reyes.
About every ball game we've played, except maybe I guess yesterday, since we left Florida, the 2 exhibition games, they've all been like this. Fairly low-scoring affairs that, you know, that are hanging in the balance. Things are up for grabs all the way to the end of the game.
Gonna drop in. No, a great catch in center field by Tucker.
Yeah, they gave us some help, but they took one away there.
Adrian Brown nearly tied the game, but Michael Tucker keeps the Reds ahead by 1. Pirates baseball coming your way exclusively on Fox Sports Net from PNC Park. Bucks within a run now.
Now the bullpen has been doing a great job so far. They're going to have to keep it up.
Enrique Wilson stays in the game at short.
The bullpen, the only blip has been that 1 inning where Silva gave up 3 runs. Sarva He's been pitching outstanding.
Facing Larkin, Tucker, Young, top of the order. Bucks will have 2 more shots. Strike 1. Larkin 0 for 3. Just missed. Chris Reitsma goes 6+, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned. A walk and 5 Ks. Two and 1.
Very important at bat here for Sauerbeck. Top of the lineup. You just scored 2 runs, get you right back in the ball game. The leading lady. Don't walk him. Make him hit the ball to get on.
He did.
And he's been so good at getting his pitches over the plate, throwing everything where he wants to. Change up curveballs. That at bat out of character for him as far as this year goes.
Limited number of tickets available for the remaining 2 games against the Reds. The opening homestand, including fireworks night this Wednesday, the first night game ever at PNC Park, and inaugural season cap night on Thursday. Toll free 877-893 bucks. Tucker fouls the bunt try down. Tucker doubled and scored in the 6th. Pirates relievers have just been sparkling through the first 6 games of this season. 21 innings. They've allowed 4 walks.
If you want to point to some reason why the pitcher did such a good job on the road trip, and I guess the way we've been talking about the starting pitching and, you know, people getting hurt and everything, maybe we expected bad things to happen. I don't know, but why were they so good? They threw the ball over the plate. All of them did.
Bunted by Tucker. Gets the job done. Young throws to Mears.
You throw strikes, you give yourself a chance, and that's what the Pirate pitching did the whole week we were away.
Saturday, the Pittsburgh Pirates travel to Wrigley Field, take on Sammy Sosa and the Chicago Cubs. Coverage starts at 2 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Net. That's this Saturday.
4 trips to Chicago for us this year.
And the White Sox in Comiskey this year. Interleague play time called. Kendall will talk to Sauerbeck.
Of course, one of our favorite trips. Going to the Windy City. Beautiful ballpark there in its own right. A little older than this one.
But a lot of the ideas
and a lot of
taken from Wrigley Field.
The buildings out there.
Intimate.
The water. Their water is a little further away. Lake Michigan. I don't think you can reach that.
Oh, smoked foul by Dimitri Young.
Just a strike. But yeah, the 2 decks. Very similar.
Dimitri Young batting from the right side against the left-hander.
Of course, one of the reasons we love going there, we have to admit it, the great restaurants they have in Chicago. Very nice place to go and have a day game.
Scott Sauerbeck trying to keep this a 1-run deficit, give the Pirates a shot. Young pops it up. Kendall has a beat on it. 2 outs.
Halfway home.
Now,
this will be a little different for Sean Casey. He's going after a lefty with very good breaking stuff. He'll have to take a total different approach than he did off of Richie, where he was looking for the, hard sinkers down. And Casey will have to try and keep that right shoulder of his locked in, not pull off. Kendall and Sauerbeck play this. The Reds are one of the best teams there is going as far as stealing third base. Year after year, they seem to have the knack of doing that, and the best one of the group out there right now, Larkins and Sauerbeck, stepping off and looking him back to the bag. Oh, look, see?
Still dancing.
Yep.
Still wants to do it. Casey gets nailed.
Larkin was going to run that first time, and I think perhaps Scott would have been better off when Larkin jumped up to go ahead and just step off, like stepping away from a putt in golf. I think he was distracted at that point, and that's why that pitch got away from him. That curveball, it misses.
Very
apparent. He's trying to throw the curveball here, and it goes up here. That's a big miss.
He was obviously distracted by the base runner, and that.
What you do when you see him jumping off like that, I mean, you can't be concentrating on what's going on at the plate at that point. Your attention has to be divided, and so you should just back off and kind of reset things for yourself.
We'll be back. Mark Wilkins coming on. 3-2. The Reds lead it. Top of the 8th inning. 2 outs from PNC Park in Pittsburgh.
The new and the old.
Caps.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Mark Wilkins.
What do they call that hat there?
The old pillbox style.
Pillbox style, yeah.
Mark Wilkins, what he did against the Astros, a couple of scoreless innings on Saturday. His job is to get Alex Ochoa. Barry Larkin chatting with Aramis Ramirez. Larkin walked against Sauerbeck. He's now at second base. Casey at first. Ochoa against Todd Ritchie. Grounded out, flied out, and single. Mark Dorogo, assistant trainer to Kent Biggerstaff, and some of the Pirates pitchers. Francisco Cordova. There's Scott Sauerbeck.
Found a little knot in there he's working on.
Good pitch, strike called.
High strike. They've done it. I wasn't going to believe it until I saw it, but they have expanded the strike zone vertically, and they're consistent with it.
Fastball misses high, 1-1 on Ochoa. Takes his swing, appeal. First base umpire John Hirschbeck said he didn't go.
So Mark Wilkins, kind of a bumpy road to where he is standing right now. Let go after the season. Signed by, I believe it was Oakland, right, Greg?
Yep. Signed by Oakland after being claimed off waivers. And then 2 weeks later, the A's waived him, and the Pirates re-signed him to a minor league contract. He made the club out of spring training.
Had to fight his way on, had to pitch his way onto the team. Got some breaks with some injuries, but he took advantage of it.
Misses with that breaking ball, 3-1. Ball 4.
Well, the control that has been so good for these guys coming out of the bullpen is hurting right now. That leadoff walk, hitting Casey, and now the walk to Ochoa. Things are getting a little nervous.
It's down to cases with Aaron Boone lined into a double play his last time up against Josias Manzanillo. Boone has also struck out looking and grounded out. One career grand slam to his credit. Ball 1, and Kendall with a trip to the mound. Pirates pitching coach Finn Williams last 3 or 4 days has just been raving about the job Jason Kendall has done, the way he has called games. I really think Kendall has accepted a new challenge in that regard.
Jason has a little bit of a different attitude when it comes to dealing with the pitchers than maybe he's had in the past. I think he's wanting to be a little more assertive and taking charge a little bit, not just calling pitches, but other things. He would like to take charge right here, and Wilkie in the throwing the ball over the plate at this point.
With Larkin at third, Sean Casey at second base for the Reds, and Alex Ochoa at first. You see there's no place to put Boone.
Now, obviously, any runs the Reds can push across at this point. How big. Whoa, come back there.
Pirates might have gotten a call there. Ray McClendon.
Well, I would say that might have been a tad low.
And a home plate umpire is hearing it from third base coach Ron Oster.
Oster, you can see his head's bobbing up and down. He's giving it to him. Good foul.
Boone drives it, foul. 3-2, really down to cases now. The runners will be off. It's 3-2 on Aaron Boone. The Pirates trailing by a run. 2 outs in the 8th inning. Payoff pitch. And a one-hop smash. Ramirez keeps it in front, but no place to throw. The bases remain loaded. The Reds score another.
Now, that ball was hit sharply. Really, Ramirez did a nice job keeping that out of the outfield and keeping 2 runs from scoring. Would have been nice to come up with this, or if he knocked it down, have it just lay there in front of him so he could make a play on it. Look, Greggy had it in his glove. He just flipped it out when he brought the glove up. It hit right in the middle of the glove. And as he brings the glove up, he just kind of flips it out with a web.
And now Wilkins will face pinch hitter Ken Griffey Jr.
Now the Reds going for the nail in the coffin play here.
The shift is on. Shortstop Wilson. You can see him move over. The 3-man right side of the infield. And he offers at the first pitch from Wilkins. It'd be a nice pick-me-up for the Pirates in this crowd if Wilkins can get Griffey. Bothered by the hamstring. He injured it just toward the end of spring training. Bob Boone said Pretty soon it's going to be up to Ken Griffey whether he plays or not, but right now, not in the starting lineup. Hasn't been since the start of the year. The Reds playing in their 8th game.
I guess what that means is at this point, Boone's going to call the shots, and even if Griffey wants to play, he's going to say no, because he doesn't want this thing to be prolonged into May, for instance. But there will come a time where Boone will go to him and say, all right, if you're ready, I'm going to put you out there.
1-1. Going the other way, but fouling it out of play. So Wilkins ahead of the count, 1-2 on Ken Griffey, the pinch hitter for Juan Castro.
Very important to get those foul balls today. Be a little special. Foul balls, I guess they're always great for fans to get, but get one opening day at PNC Park. They'll have to go on the mantle.
Line to right, but this time out of play that side.
Yeah, that one
got that young man wet.
Yep. He went up to make a play and looked like got him in the wrist.
I tell you, we say that so often when you come out to the ballpark. We said it at Three Rivers, but it's especially true
be
here.
Careful here. You're
right, much closer.
Right there. Watch the game. Careful the line drives.
One and two on Griffey. Griffey with a fly ball. They had him played perfectly. The shift worked. The Reds settle for 1 run. The Pirates go to bat in the bottom of the 8th, trailing by 2. Going to the bottom of the 8th. Time to update the Safe Auto Insurance Safe at Home total. The donation to Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Add $10 more to that, so up to $130. We'll keep that tally going. And let's send it back out to Rob Nicoleski.
Thanks a lot, Greg. Greg, we're here with Mike Wilmer of Pittsburgh, who has the distinction of catching, well, here's the Pirate parrot. But Mike, you caught the first home run ball here at PNC Park. How'd you get it?
The fans were scrambling for the ball, and I just sat here, and it just come right down here to me.
Actually, it landed a couple of rows up, right?
Correct, correct. And I just sat here, and as they scrambled for it, I retrieved it.
What are you going to do with it? Are you going to throw it back?
No, I'm going to keep it. A gentleman from Sean Casey's family had said that they were trying to get it, so if they contact me, they can definitely get it.
All right, thanks a lot. Mike Wilmer catching the first home run ball, I guess on a carom, Craig, here at PNC Park.
Wow, that's quite a souvenir. Thank you, Rob, and thanks to Mr. Wilmer, who might end up getting that to
and I'm
Sean Casey.
Sure that Sean will maybe come up with a nice autographed bat or something in exchange for that. That ball is something that Sean would want to have, being a Pittsburgh kid. How about that? The Pittsburgh guys. Carrick hits the last one. Up for St. Clair, hits the first one.
Yep. Donnie Sadler, the new second baseman.
Should have known.
Sadler will bat 9th. You do a second in the 9th inning. And now John Riedling against Derek Bell. Well, this is the part of the order. You hope to get some offense from Bell, Kendall, Giles. Pirates trail by 2.
Good point, Greg. You look where we're at. This is the inning you want to do it in. At least get that 1 run back. I imagine Graves would come in to pitch the 9th.
John Riedling pitched 1 1/3 scoreless innings of relief. The opening game for the Pirates in Cincinnati last Tuesday. Graves would get the save in that one. Ground ball towards second, just as that pitch was being delivered. A gust of wind blows up a ton of dust on the infield, but Donnie Sadler able to make the play. 4-3. Derek Bell
Those flags been moving around all day. I would have thought that the wind would kind of come into play a little more than it has on pop flies, moving things around. And you'd see some guys scuffling to make some catches, but nothing like that so far.
Kendall 1 for 3, an infield hit in the first inning. Sean Casey's 2-run homer in that first gave the Reds the lead. They picked up another run in the 6th inning on a Casey RBI single. Pirates scoring a couple of runs in the 7th to get to within 1, but then the Reds get one of those tallies back. Helped out by some wildness. A couple of walks, hit batter, infield hit. So Cincinnati leads 4-2. Stays 0-2 on Kendall.
We've seen Jason hit the ball on the ground quite a bit of late to the left side. Not really spraying it around like he normally does. I think when we see Jason kind of come out of this little slow start, the first thing we'll notice is we'll see line drive starting to go to right field. But he's really coming over. He's hitting a lot of choppers, ground balls toward that shortstop hole. Trying to pull the ball maybe a little bit too much.
Whacked by Riedling.
Well, he's off to a slow start with the base hits, but not getting hit. That's 4, 5, 4.
Fourth time he's been hit. And now let's listen.
One of the reasons it sounded so loud is his sleeves kind of blending in with it, but he's got that plastic covering over it, so when the ball hits it, makes that whack noise.
Ryan Giles can connect with one and fouls this off.
Wasn't that loud hitting bone and skin. I don't think he would have just dropped the bat and casually jogged down to first base. That one would have hurt. Remember his first year when he refused to wear that thing?
Yep.
His arm was just getting eaten alive. It's black and blue from shoulder to wrist.
One ball, one strike on Giles. John Riedling faced Giles Thursday afternoon. The 4-1 Reds victory. Giles grounded out to end that ball game. 22nd round pick by the Reds in 1994. 2-1. No question, one of the keys to this game, Bob, you mentioned it, with Kendall at first base in the first inning with 2 outs. Giles lined a pitch off the wall and right. Kendall was off on the pitch. And the Reds got a huge break. The ball came right back to Ochoa, got the ball in quickly. Pirates were held without a run. Lined at the shortstop. Kendall will be doubled off. Line drive to Larkin. Hit hard by Giles. Double play. 4-2, Reds lead it as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Let's take a look at what's coming your way. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight following the game.
Pirates Baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by your local Pittsburgh Jeep dealers. See your Jeep dealer today. And by the UPMC Health System.
Mayor Tom Murphy. He, along with so many others, so instrumental in this historic day. Talk about Kevin McClatchy, determined, not listening to the naysayers. Well, Mayor Murphy, likewise.
Yeah, when you think back to some of the days we had leading up to today, back before they ever even broke ground, and so many times it was like, this is never going to happen. Yep.
Kelly Sinet takes a strike, so the Pirates have to hope Wilkins can keep it at the 2-run deficit and then See if they can pick up a couple of runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Aramis Ramirez, Kevin Young, and Pat Mears due up against probably Danny Graves. Pirates were able to pull it off in Cincinnati. Second game of the season last Wednesday. Yeah, 2 outs, down to their last strike. In the top of the 9th inning, down 3 runs to the Reds, with Danny Graves on the mound. Jason Kendall was hit on the helmet with a Danny Graves pitch. Giles reached on an error. Ramos Ramirez, an RBI single, and then a pinch hit RBI double by Nunez, the 2-run double that tied it. Derek Bell, the catch on the Stinnett fly ball. Now Donnie Sadler, his first plate appearance. Sadler came on to play second base. Mike Williams warming for the Pirates.
Wasn't it Sadler? Was he in left field when Nunez hit that ball?
Tried to make the diving catch.
In that inning you were talking about, that just barely got off the end of his glove, went to the wall. Wainer scoring all the way first base with that tying run. We're looking down at the Pirate dugout. Every single player was right, leaning over that railing along that third baseline, waving in Wainer.
1-1 on Sadler. These clubs will have the day off tomorrow and then go back at it. Game 2 of this series, the first night game ever in the history of PNC Park. Fireworks night on Wednesday. Jimmy Anderson for Pittsburgh against former Pirate Elmer descends. And then Thursday night, concluding game of the first 3-game series. Line to the left. Base hit for Sadler. Brings up Barry Larkin. Nine hits now for Cincinnati.
Sometimes it feels like Larkin hits 6-7 times a game. It's like every inning he comes to the plate.
It's his 5th at bat.
Started today, he's playing .458 batting average. That's one thing that I don't like about April baseball is, you know, the numbers haven't settled down yet to get guys at, you know, batting averages, home run numbers all out of whack. Pitchers with ERAs in the 15s. When you start looking at the numbers, they really don't mean a whole lot to you. They're kind of meaningless. Baseball is dependent on numbers and statistics more than any other sport you can think of.
It takes a while for those to settle down because so many games played. This is game 7 on the 162-game schedule for Pittsburgh. First one ever at PNC Park.
We will have a lot of them on Fox for you this year. You'll be able to get your baseball fix. 120 games total that are going to be televised by the Pirates.
One and one on the Reds captain, Barry Larkin. Look at that shot. Golf building, USX Tower. Fly ball to right. Who's going to take charge? Kevin Young, the basket grab.
I don't think either one of them was confident enough to call the other guy off. They thought, well, I might be able to catch this, but I can't call it because I'm not sure. That's usually when there's a little bit of a problem.
Good play by Young. Don't forget tonight, Pittsburgh Sports Tonight, right? Coming your way, 10 o'clock. A lot in store, including PNC Park opening day festivities. Willie Stargell remembered. Penguins prepare for the playoffs. That's tonight at 10. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Michael Tucker. One of the fine defensive plays made this afternoon by the Reds. Made by Michael Tucker. Adrian Brown's single would have been a single in the 7th inning with 2 outs.
They have thrown some leather at us.
See a lot more of those great diving catches in a ballpark like this with natural grass. Line to the right. Derek Bell has to hurry over there. The Reds with runners at the corners. Second hit for Tucker. He's on base for the 3rd time. Brings up Dimitri Young. Correction, Ruben Rivera.
Yeah.
Ruben Rivera, just get word, had come into the game defensively to play center field.
He is pretty much a defensive specialist. He is a great center fielder, but has really struggled in his big league career with the bat. Not a very good breaking ball hitter at all.
Alex Ochoa moved to left and Michael Tucker to right.
See how Wilkins works him. You know he's going to give him a lot of sliders, maybe the curveball too. Started him off with a slider but missed with it. Padres had great hopes for Rivera, but they finally got to the point they threw in the towel. And Bowden, the GM of the Reds, that one of his trademarks is trying to go after guys that other people have given up on.
Runner goes.
No throw was called from the bench. And you can tell that anytime you see the catcher not throw the ball to second base, you can tell whose decision it was by looking at the middle infielders. Both our guys held their ground. Nobody took a step towards second. That's because before that play even happened, Mac signaled out that he was going to let him go. If he runs, no play.
1-2 on Ruben Rivera. Mark Wilkins gave up a walk, an infield hit, and a line drive out by pinch hitter Ken Griffey in the 8th. Here in the 9th, a 1-out single and a 2-out base hit. Blocked by Kendall. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ruben Rivera in the 9th inning. Donnie Sadler at 3rd and Michael Tucker at 2nd. You really want to go after Rivera with Sean Casey on deck.
And that's why there's no throw to second base, because a lot of confidence in your pitcher getting Rivera out. So you don't want to have that play out at second base. The throw might skip away in the center field. You know, things can happen that allow that run to score. But if you have a hitter at the plate that you're confident your pitcher's going to be able to handle, and there's 2 outs, and you don't worry about the runners. You just get that hitter and get him out. And they didn't do it.
And the wild pitch will score the run. And it's 5-2 Cincinnati. And on the play, Tucker goes to 3rd. The walk to Rivera. Now Sean Casey.
Casey with the big RBIs early in this ball game, trying to tack on a little frosting on the cake.
He's our Advanced Auto Parts player of the game. So far, 3 for 3. The homer, 3 runs batted in. done, guys. And despite the score, regardless of the outcome, it has been excellent. Casey to right center field. Derek Bell won't be able to make that play. All the way to the 375 sign. 2-run score. Casey. Sean Casey of Upper St. Clair. 2 more runs batted in.
And we're definitely not in any danger now of having to reconsider our advanced auto parts player of the game. He definitely put some frosting on it with that gap shot.
7-2 Reds.
You'll see Derek Bell go flat out trying to make this play. He knows it's game's on the line, do or die. You can't afford to give up any more runs, so you have to try and catch that ball no matter what. And as you said, Greg, the natural grass, you'll see those outfielders leaving their feet a lot more often now than you used to.
Sean Casey 4 for 4.
Don't have to worry about leaving half your skin on the turf. That little artificial surface will just peel you.
A 5 RBI day for Sean Casey. And on base 5 times. Now Ochoa.
See some ugly strawberries come off that field over there at Old Three Rivers.
Another base hit. Derek Bell will throw toward the plate. Off the mark. Another run scores. Going to second on the throw. Ochoa. It's 8-2 Cincinnati.
And nothing happening right now in the bullpen. Mark's going to have to finish this himself.
Aaron Boone. Well, the Reds up by 6 runs in the 9th. Looks like that losing streak of home openers is going to continue unless the Pirates can pull off something miraculous. Now the Pirates get somebody up in their bullpen, Bill Taylor.
Microphone must be inside the glove.
How much you love the sound of that ball catching mitt at Three Rivers in those bullpens. And Boone helped Wilkins out there with that swing of the high fastball up and in.
Best ballpark for that was Dodger Stadium. Could really get it popping there.
Aaron Boone, the 8th man to bat in the 9th inning. 2-2, and Wilkins struggling to get this last out. Todd Ritchie started 5 1/3, 3 runs on 7 hits. Josias Manzanillo, 5 outs. Struck out a couple. And Wilkins finally gets Aaron Boone. Damage done, however. The Reds score 4, and going to the bottom of the 9th, it's 8-2 Cincinnati. Another Willie Stargell moment. 1979 playoffs, Game 1, Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. Tom Hume gives up that Stargell homer. The Pirates winning that first game 5-2. They go on to sweep that National League Championship Series, and of course Willie leading the team and the family to a World Series victory over the Baltimore Orioles. Tom Hume on the coaching staff for Bob Boone, giving up that Stargell home run. Look at the Gateway Clipper fleet, the Majestic, I believe that ship outside PNC Park. Bummer if the Pirates don't win it. losing streak for home openers would continue, but it really won't take away from a perfect day. Tommy Sand told us, the Pirates first base coach, last night on the way in, we were speculating whether the Rains would stay away for this opener. He said, whenever Pittsburgh has to put on a show, I don't care what it is, a big concert or an all-star game, whatever it is, Pittsburgh shines. And it did again today.
And when we got in, we were talking about it. Everything was wet then at the time. It was raining. We're going to get ready to rain again.
Another nice catch.
I mentioned to Tommy, I said, all this rain is tonight, this is just washing off the building, so everything looks nice and clean tomorrow.
Alex Ochoa. A nice grab in right field.
I don't know. Home openers and the Pirates just don't mix anymore as far as the wins come.
Kevin Young with a fly ball. Shortstop Larkin makes the catch. Quickly 2 outs for Danny Graves. Not a save situation, of course.
Graves the other day when he blew that save, it really looked like when he hit Kendall, it got to his psyche a little bit.
That led to the Pirates' comeback, hitting Jason Kendall right on the batting helmet. Kendall was dazed.
Always dazed.
Ball and a strike on Pat Mears.
John Wayner out on the on-deck circle. Do something. John get one over that left field fence. Be the first one of the Pirates to nail one.
Strike 3 called.
Well, that's kind of the way the game started for the Pirates. That a lot of called third strikes and not agreeing with the umpire, and that's the way it's ended.
Disappointing as far as the outcome is concerned. Sean Casey, the Pittsburgh kid, comes home and helps christen the Pirates' new ballpark with a 4-for-4 performance. Bob Boone and the Reds snap their losing streak. The Pirates are defeated by the Reds. We're back with more in a moment. Final score, the Reds beat the Pirates in the PNC Park home opener 8-2. Disappointing outcome. The Reds, you got to give them credit. Sean Casey and that defense did in the buckos.
Oh, you're right, Greg. It is, of course, disappointing that the openers seem to be so tough for the Pirates. Not only we've lost them over the years, but some of them have been extremely ugly ball games. But today was well played. It really didn't get out of hand until the ninth inning when the Reds put up the 4 spot, and that kind of sealed our fate. But up till that point, you kept thinking whether we're going to break out, we're going to, start getting the offense going. But still today, only 6 hits. Hey, we'll come back and get them Wednesday night, first night game.
Day off tomorrow and back at PNC Park for the first night game ever on Wednesday night. And that will be our next telecast, by the way. 7 o'clock airtime on Wednesday for the Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds on Fox Sports Net. Opening day here at PNC Park. Don't forget, coming up, special edition of Sports Beat right here from PNC Park that comes your way at 6:30. And Pittsburgh Sports Tonight with all your local sports updates that comes your way at 10 o'clock. Great ceremony before the game. The festivities, the pomp and circumstance. Historical day in Pittsburgh as the Pirates open up the greatest ballpark in the country, PNC Park. Sean Casey, the Upper St. Clair Pittsburgh native, comes home to beat the Buccos. Pirates will look to even the score on Wednesday night.